Welcome, everyone. It's another episode, finally, of The Buck Stops Here. I'm Kirk Buchner, along with Evan Nolan, and we run NotInHallOfFame.com. But more importantly, and we've just extended this for another 30 days because we want to jack up some votes. We've already broken our record. But
we've already broken our record, but we have a lot of votes coming in, so we want to build the momentum.
Right. So. Yes. And maximize on an ad I just did. So there's that.
That's also true.
Yes.
He spent money on it. We wanted to get our money's worth for it. So
we do, and we want a lot of you to know about it. And if you haven't already voted, you can vote again, and you can tell your friends. And it's the United States Athletic Hall of Fame, the only Hall of Fame for the people, by the people, decided by the people. We do not induct people. We don't. Oh, go ahead.
And for which there are no wrong answers.
That's very true. That's very true.
We have 119 people, I think, this year on the list. I've forgotten at this point. And literally every single one of them deserves to be in.
Absolutely. Oh, wait, what's that? Oh, yes. Winnie wants everyone to tell you, she wants to remind me, like, hey, tell everyone how to vote. Why? You vote at www.theusahof.com. She's not just a cute mini Dachshund. She's the mascot.
There you go.
And Evan, it's been a while.
It has.
Yeah.
So we have 100. We have 124, by the way.
So, 124. Nice. Well, yeah. 124 total possibilities. That's just the athletes. There's also coaches and contributors. And amazingly, all of you who've already found this, you're voting on all of it. We've never had this much support. Well, period, before, but we've never had equal support in the coaches and contributors.
Yeah, usually our votes for athletes are significantly higher. And like I said, I think last I saw, our top vote getter ever before would finish like 17th or 18th with where we are right now.
Okay.
Just give you an idea as to how many votes we have. Our last check-in, we get check-in like once a month, just to see where things are.
Yeah.
Other than that, we don't need to know on a daily basis. But the other thing is, like, coaches, we sometimes have, I don't know, 20%, 30% of the votes, and we're almost 1-to-1 with them, which is a pretty good lead in for our first thing we should probably talk about today, too.
Absolutely. And I think that we're going to be talking probably a lot more frequently because it is Hall of Fame season.
It is.
And something dropped today, and I think something more is going to drop this week. So we'll have to figure out when we're going to do that next week.
Yeah.
Pro Football Hall of Fame has announced their 12. I don't know if I want to call them preliminary candidates because they say that in the press release, it was brought down to 14 from 14, but I couldn't find anything that said who the other two that they left off were.
Yeah, I saw 14. I also saw 15. So I don't know.
Last year, I think they did actually say who it was, but they didn't this time. And for the most part, in comparing it to the 12 who reached this point last year, it's 10 who were the same, 2 who are out, being Jeff Fisher and Richie Pettibone.
Okay.
And 2 new ones. One who is very near and dear to your heart, and it's already in our aforementioned United States Athletic Hall of Fame, which
first ballot.
And should be. And thank God he was, because my God, the last 8 months have not been kind to Mr. Belichick. Maybe in one room in his house.
Yeah, I would say the last 18 or so. The only thing, the high point for him, honestly, was the hit job that Kraft did on him with the dynasty thing, where everyone was like, "What the hell are you doing, Kraft?"
How sad is that?
But Kraft has come back because he fired Mayo and brought back a coach who knows what he's doing with Vrabel. And as a quarterback who is super duper accurate. So Kraft is on the rebound as long as he doesn't say anything else. Belichick is spiraling at the moment. So
very much so, but he is one of the two. The other one is Buddy Parker, who returns after being included last year. He had made it to the finalists, and I guess the Blue Ribbon Committee just said, you know what, screw it. We're just not going to waste our time, because they were pissed off. My theory.
Yeah, true. And no offense to Rich Pettibone, but Bill Belichick and Buddy Parker are both Hall of Famers. Rich Pettibone is a very, very good coach who's good to have a conversation, but that's a much longer argument.
Right. So, and let's just start with Belichick. And Belichick is such a great candidate, and this is your team. You're the Pats guy. So you'll do most of the heavy lifting here, but I I don't think I'm mistaken by saying you're taking the combined thing of the other 11. Great names, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I, those 11 don't dwarf Bill Belichick. 6 Super
No.
plus another 2 as a defensive coordinator. People forget that.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his boat is called 8 Rings. He keeps changing the name of it every time he wins.
To change it for a while.
Well, was he? Is it 8 rings or 9 rings? Wasn't he part of the Colts staff that won Super Bowl V?
I don't think so because when I was
No.
looking at stuff today,
Mm.
he first became his first pro gig was in
For
75.
75.
Yeah. Oh, please, Bill, don't make it 9 rings. Don't put a ring on it. I'm just saying, because if you want that boat, anyway, let's move on. We've talked enough about that part, and this really isn't what should be discussed about him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most qualified coaching candidate in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
since
Shula.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, just think of the last few coaches who've gone in, and I'm taking I mean, the last few have gone in. We had Jimmy Johnson, we had Bill Cowher. Neither of those guys, no offense, they're Hall of Famers, but no offense, neither of those guys are in the same stratosphere as he is. Dungy, who else did we had? Vermeil.
Mhm.
God, I need to actually look at who we've had recently. Like none of these guys that we have who have gotten in here, or Coryell's, I think, a whole separate category. Coryell didn't get in as a coach. Coryell got in as
Debater.
as an innovator. It's a better way to put it. Tom Flores is a different category too, in my opinion. But like a lot of these other guys who have gotten in, it's not even close with him. And put it this way, in the history of the NFL, I'm going to give you, hold on, this is the wrong list. There we go. The following teams, what do the San Francisco 49ers, New England Patriots, Green Bay Packers, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Dallas Cowboys have in common? They're the only franchises with more playoff wins than Bill Belichick.
Oh, okay.
5 franchises
Mm-hmm.
have more playoff wins than Bill Belichick. He's 31-13, which
Mm-hmm.
coincidentally is what the Patriots beat the Titans by this week. But he's 31-13 in the playoffs. He's got more wins in the Eagles, Rams, Chiefs. He's got more wins in his career in the playoffs than the Chiefs do in their franchise.
That's insane.
And just think how the Chiefs have been doing. The Chiefs are 26-22 all time in the playoffs. They've only had 48 playoff games ever. Belichick's had 44 and has 31 wins. So he's more than the Raiders, more than the Giants, the Colts. The Colts only have 23 wins. Think about that. The Colts have been around forever. They only have 23 playoff wins. So it's hard to have anything. Like I said, though, it's a weird time, particularly since I fully expect when we have the contributors. Last year, they did Ralph Hay, who should have been in the. We've talked about this multiple times on this network. Yeah. He should have been in on the 2020 100th year anniversary thing. Mm-hmm. No offense to Paul Tagliabue, but Ralph Hay should be in his spot.
Absolutely.
I'm keeping Steve Sable and George Young. I have particularly Young, who'd been there multiple times. Yeah, I mean, that's where Hay should have been. When Hay, with a new system, didn't get in last year, they're going to put up Kraft this year. And it's going to be bad for whoever the senior candidates are. Because you have Kraft and Belichick, and only one of the senior candidates is going to have a possibility of getting in. They're going to have to figure out which one they want to get behind and get behind that person, whoever it is, because we're going to have that other thing. That would also be possibly the most awkward Hall of Fame celebration, with them having to do pictures over and over and over again together.
I'm there for it, though. Actually, we might actually go this.
If Belichick and Kraft, you can just count me in for being there. So.
Well, also I got Drew Brees, who should be a player lock.
So you got Drew Brees, yeah.
I think we got to do more beer bets, because I think we have doing some drinking that week.
Yeah, and Vinatieri could be there. You never know.
I I thought my case last year should have put him in. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, put it this way. If they'd done the Hall of Fame the correct way, the way they've been doing it for years,
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that, well, we know that two out of Willie Anderson, Torrey Holt, Luke Keacher out of Vinatieri would be in and not taking up more spots for people who aren't
Right.
never their cases heard now.
Probably from what we've heard, my guess would be Kuechly and Vinatieri.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well.
Yeah.
Not you're probably better connected with this than I am, just because you spend more time talking to these folks, or they spend more time bothering you. Put it that way, than they spend bothering me.
I don't know if they don't bother me at all. I wish more of them would talk to me, and I got to give the proper due. A lot of those things that were hooked up was done by Chris Meridian, our good friend.
That's true.
Out in Wisconsin.
Yeah, Chris. Just by the way, Chris, you're awesome. Just I'm throwing that out there. So, yeah. So I mean, I don't think. No offense to everyone else. I honestly think that Holmgren was a great candidate last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was his second time on the ballot, the first time being the 2020 class. I would have Holmgren over at least Bill Cowher, in my opinion, as a Hall of Famer. I have no problem with Jimmy Johnson getting in 2020. I had a problem with Cowher. I have no problem with Cowher being in, but he
jumped a queue because a certain Shrek-looking individual wanted to get on TV. We said it then, it's no different now.
Yep, and as we've said again, he made Alan Faneca wait an extra year. But it's legitimately hard for me to see, given this group of people here, how Belichick isn't the coach. I mean, the only other person, first of all, Holmgren, great candidate. I still would have Tom Coughlin outside of Belichick as my first choice of all of these people. Mm-hmm. Tom Coughlin has the actual argument that people are making for Eli Manning.
I've never heard that before, but that's actually really good.
Right? I mean, I've said it.
Yeah.
I don't know, different places before, but people are like, well, Eli beat Brady in the Super Bowl twice. I'm like, no. Tom Coughlin and his defense beat Brady in the Super Bowl twice. I don't understand why Eli gets the credit for it, not O.C. Umenyiora and Justin Tuck. Like, those guys are the ones who made, and Strahan in the first one, not the second one, but like, those are the ones who made Brady's life hell. Coughlin in the defensive line, not Eli. I mean, Eli scored what, 17 and one or whatever and one, and I mean, it's not the same. So Coughlin, it would be my second choice if they don't do Belichick. I don't think it'll be Holmgren because they just put him up.
But Coughlin, I don't think Coughlin's even on their radar at this point.
He should be. He absolutely should be.
I think think about this with Holmgren, right? I mean, Holmgren was the coach candidate, and now, to probably a lot of those people in that room, in that committee, he's dropped to 3 behind Parker.
Yeah. But I mean, Holmgren has 161 career wins, right?
Yeah.
Coughlin's got 170. Coughlin's got more wins and 2 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, I'm not even disagreeing with you on that. I just don't know how much they're thinking of him, and maybe because, again, people vote on people. Tom Coughlin's not known for giving the warm and fuzzies to other people.
That is true.
Not.
Shanahan, by the way, is tied with Coughlin with 170 and the same number of Super Bowls. So,
well, I hope they put up Bill. I mean, honestly, the only thing that works against him, and I'm not even sure they said that.
The last 2 years.
Yeah, the last 2 years, and the person he's dating.
Yeah,
which is honestly,
the last 2 years.
Last 2 years. I honestly think that as more shit leaks, nobody wants to deal with her at that ceremony.
Probably not, but I mean, what are you going to do here? Are you gonna put up? Just say I mean, it's not going to be Buddy Parker, and it's not going to be Holmgren out of these 12, right? Even if they advance, they've tried them both recently. They're not going to happen. Buddy Parker should get in eventually once people realize that, I mean, just whatever. I'm not going to go into that. We've done Buddy Parker.
We've discussed why we think.
Right. But if it's not Belichick because of the weirdness, right? Is it Shanahan? I think it has to be Shanahan or Coughlin at that point because they're not putting up Marty Schottenheimer, who's, top 10 all time in wins.
No.
Right? Who has a reputation unearned of, just not being a great coach, which is ridiculous. I mean, he's got 200 wins, right? But they'll never put Schottenheimer up. He's 8th all time.
Right. And when we're
So
looking at the others, I mean, none of these people are going to jump. All of these people who were returnees, Bill Arnsberger.
yeah,
No, and there's a case. I like the case. Alex
it's
Kidd.
a good case.
But
Not again. You can't make that case with Belichick, Coughlin, Holmgren, and Shanahan on the ballot.
The only other one I really like, but they would have done it already, is Clark Shaughnessy.
Yeah, well, Dr. Z, unfortunately, God rest his soul,
Yeah.
isn't here to be banging the table for him. That was Dr. Z, and for you guys who are too young to remember when Sports Illustrated actually used to be something you had to read on a weekly or daily basis. Um, Dr. Z was their main football guy, Paul Zimmerman. He had a stroke, I don't know, 15 years ago at this point, and died a few years ago. His Clark Shaughnessy was his pet project.
Yeah.
Banged the table for him all the time. Got him on the ballot a couple times. We never got in.
Yeah.
I absolutely have no problem with Shaughnessy getting in, but I can't imagine with the way that Hay was rejected, like apparently roundly rejected last year. He was the worst.
Yeah.
He performed worse than pretty much anyone else on the ballot.
Hmm.
So with that, I can't imagine Shaughnessy being at some point. What they need to do, and they tried doing it in the 2020 class and screwed it up. They need an old timers committee to just go get us Vern Llewellyn and Lavi Delweg and Ox Emerson and Ralph Hay and Clark Shaughnessy and like a whole bunch of these guys who are going to be forgotten forever. It's like the Patriots Hall of Fame, right? I know the Patriots recent history has been amazing, and so the old stuff's hard to remember. But if you put John Morris, who was a 4-time All-Pro at center for the Patriots, they had to put him in as a senior candidate. Why? Because is he getting in over McGinnis and Bruschi and Troy Brown? And no, he's never going to get voted in. A, recency bias, and B, because the teams are more successful, right? This is a recency bias of all these old timers. They need something eventually. It's not going to happen for at least another 5 years because it's 20 or 4 more years. 2026, they're not going to do a cleanup in 2020 and then another one before 2030, right? It's probably not going to happen until 45. They'll do a 25-year thing and come back at it. But they need to do that at some point. So
They do, or come up with a direct elect, because if you're asking all these class A historians to do all this legwork and then only to have it rejected by some people who are going to learn about a Ralph Hay, which is a great example of that. And I'm gonna who's that again? Oh, I got 5 minutes that I'm going to tell you, because they're only allowed 5 minutes to tell you about the guy who is the reason why Canton is on the map.
yeah,
really.
yeah. But why the NFL exists? And I know he didn't own the team long or anything, but the NFL does not exist without Ralph Hay.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been in the very first class.
Yeah, and the city still celebrates him.
Yeah,
as we can say with our own eyes.
Yeah. By the way, go to Canton. It's fun. That whole weekend we did 2 years ago was great.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't go last year partially as a protest vote, but this year, even if there's a protest vote, I'm sorry. If it's Larry Fitzgerald and Drew Brees and Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft, I'm going.
Yep, we're gonna go. We're definitely gonna go. Regardless of we get a press pass or not.
We'll figure that out. But yeah, no, I mean the list is good. It's the same thing. We just need to like the wide receiver list. We need to clear some of these guys out so we can get other people moving it in, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we got Soundgarden in so we can get to Smashing Pumpkins. Let's get Bill Belichick and Shanahan and Holmgren and Coughlin in so we can start talking about other candidates because all of them deserve it.
Andy Reid, keep coaching for a while. We don't need you clogging things up for a bit.
I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. Tomlin too. Tomlin's got 187 wins right now, by the way. So he is 11th all time. He's about to get there. Reid is 4th with 277.
What's the age difference? Because Andy Reid looks like he's 20 years older than Mike Tomlin. That's probably not the case at all.
Let's find that out. I'll do that right now.
While you're doing that, my open PSA to Andy Reid: keep doing more of those commercials. You're great. just crowbar your way in more of those Mahomes commercials, which is, I especially love that when he's just drawing stuff on that, and then he gets sort of caught, and he just sort of like, it's just.
So Reed is 67. Belichick, by the way, is 73. Tomlin is 53, 14 years younger.
Oh, okay. He's just been doing it so long. I just assumed he was a little older. I just never thought about it.
Reed has a better winning percentage. Reed's winning percentage is 650, which is actually better than Belichick's. Belichick's was crazy before those last couple of years. But Tomlin's is 631. Same as Curly Lambeau's, to give you an idea of how much he's winning.
There you go. Well, since we haven't talked for a while, there's a few minor I shouldn't call them minor Hall of Fames, but some Hall of Fame stuff that we haven't talked about. Apologies, because, well, we've both been really busy, me with the site. Evan's got a real job.
I have a real job, and I have a real test coming up. So I've been spending a lot of time studying for that in my spare time. For those wondering, I'm not going to say I'm taking a major financial test in November. So a lot of my time has been spent doing that.
And a lot of people depend on him. And we haven't even got to his kids yet.
Yeah, that is true. So, whereas my dog who's barking over on the other side.
Well, I mean, you met Winnie. That's all we got here on my end. I have a wife, but she pretty much takes care of me because look at this.
I mean, you're a kept man.
Worked out well. But one of the halls that I always like talking about, actually, I interviewed the president a long, long time ago. One of my earlier things. I got to do that again because I have mad respect for the United States Hockey Hall of Fame. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's only a matter of time before we're going to be constantly the number 2 behind the US. I think talent-wise, we already are, but we just keep seeing eke out those major tournaments on both the men's and the women's side. I'm hoping that continues a little bit more, but we'll see. I guess that's going to be one of our bets moving forward with the Olympics coming up in the winter.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I do have to say congratulations to your Blue Jays for their Game 7 win last night.
That's why we weird being yesterday.
It must have been weird. Must have been weird being in Seattle for that situation.
Oh, you know what happened to me? All right, so I went to Game 3.
Okay.
So here in Seattle, and actually our friend Ron Katz, he sent me a jacket that just has Canada on the back. So I don't have a Jays jersey, and I wouldn't be able to pick one up here. So I wore that jacket as I'm going to get Pauline, my wife, because we went together. A little girl, as I'm walking into the hotel, what gonna do? I can't go. I look back, really? I'm assuming it's over Toronto, Seattle, or it could be over our issues, and then but that Canada and the US may have, or she just did not like the cut of my jib, as the kids.
I mean, your jib's cut has been questionable for years, so
that from day one, yes. But it was an interesting.
I was gonna say, congrats to your Jays.
Thank you.
I am rooting for the Jays. I mean, the Dodgers have won more recently, but more than anything, I want the Jays to have won 2 World Series before any Canadian team wins the Stanley Cup. Because the Canadians won the Stanley Cup in June of '93.
Yeah.
The Jays won their second in October of '93. The Raptors have won an NBA championship. The Jays win another. They're like, it's been 25 or how was it, 35 years since the Jays have won the World Series. And I'm like, yeah. Well, or there was it 32 years. I'm sorry.
I remember it very well.
It's been that long for the Canadian hockey too. It's crazy.
Yeah. I remember it very well. I was in college in Ottawa. So I wasn't in Toronto celebrate. I won't be there either if that happens. It's going to be a tough road to hoe, but I mean, hell, I don't think a lot of people even had them going 500 this year. I know I didn't.
Yeah. As I said when I was talking to somebody the other day, like I hate the Yankees. The Jays, Orioles, and Rays are teams in our division. You know what I mean? And I have absolutely no animosity towards any of those teams. So I'd be more than happy for the division to pick up a title. If it's not the Red Sox, it might as well be the Blue Jays. So
I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people out in America actually cheering for Toronto. I really, just because of the Dodgers' dominance.
Yeah. I mean, the Dodgers are ridiculously good. And Shohei Ohtani, I mean, Mookie Betts is like,
and
he's played like 4 positions just as playoffs so far.
And Mookie's Mookie again.
He is again. Yep. I wonder where the Red Sox can get a guy like that.
Oh no.
But anyway.
But anywho,
Yeah.
so there's
U.S. Hockey Hall.
Yeah, five inductees. Four who I knew. I had to look up a lot on the other person. Well, not that much, but three really good players. None. One might be a Hockey Hall of Famer one day. I don't know, but I'll start off with him. Joe Pavelski, center, had a great run in San Jose with Dallas. Four-time All-Star, 1,068 points, a plus minus of 201. Internationally, and this does matter for this Hall, 2 Olympics, 1 World Cup, 1 World Championship, and a silver in that 2010 Classic between the United States and Canada. One of the top 5 games internationally ever played. Might have been that gold medal game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Pavelski, I can maybe see getting there.
Well, out of the 3, he's my top guy, I guess, in terms of possibilities. I don't really see for him, but the fact that he was with 2 teams for extended periods of time, I mean, that tells you a lot.
Yeah. Agreed. What is this? I'm trying to look it up. The trivia question. He's the 8th. He's one of 8 players in NHL and American players in NHL history to play at least 1,300 games. Can you name the other 7?
I can try.
Go for it.
Mike Modano.
Modano is correct.
Would have to be one.
First American to score 1,300 points, as a matter of fact, is Mike Modano.
Is Keith Tkachuk on that?
He is not.
He's not. Okay. Geez, I'm failing pretty fast here on this one. One who's a nominee on our thing. Chris Chelios.
Chelios.
He's got to have played over 1,300 games.
Why is he not showing up here? You know, I have a bad list because Chelios definitely is.
Yeah, I mean, he played like over 25 years.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, Chris Chelios has 1,651 games played. So the list I had didn't have Chelios. So
okay.
Never mind.
All right. Well,
Patrick Marleau was on there. Matt Cullen.
I always forget that Marleau is American with that French name.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway. All right. So you have Pavelski. Who else we got?
We got Zach Parise. Cut his teeth mostly with New Jersey and Minnesota. Was also on that great 2010 team that won silver. 889 points. Very, very, very good player. Scott Gomez. I remember when he first made it into the NHL. Like, oh, that's an interesting last name. But what? He's from Alaska? He's not certainly the first Hispanic individual in the NHL. But I believe, and I haven't looked this up, but I think I've got to be right on this. He's got to be the first and last and only Hispanic Alaskan in the NHL history.
I'd imagine that's true. Yeah. Also the only Spanish Alaskan to win Rookie of the Year.
2000? 16 seasons. Also, I believe that was with the New Jersey Devils. He did also play in the Olympics, but not on that 2010 team. He was in the World Cup of Hockey, 2 World Juniors. Didn't win a medal for the United States, but still a very, very good career. They had to go a little bit further back for their lone female inductee. One thing, though, I think that the U.S. Hall deserves a lot of credit. They actually predated the Hockey Hall of Fame in inducting them. That came in Granado, who I can't seem to get other people to agree to put her on as a nominee, which kind of proves that I don't have as much power as I'd like to have on this.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. But anyway, that's Tara Mounsey. She was on that 98 Olympic team that won gold. Played her heyday was mostly in the late 90s, so they went a little bit further back. Another silver in the Olympics in 2002, and 2 world championship silvers.
Mm-hmm.
The other one that was sort of interesting, I think I could be mistaken here, but I believe he's the only photographer in this hall, and that's Bruce Bennett. 6 Olympics, 45 Cup finals, and basically in the bio it says if you've seen a lot of hockey pictures, you've already seen his work. Personally,
Mm-hmm.
big fan of a lot of the hockey pictures Ron Katz has sent me, because he's
Mm-hmm.
like a whole bunch of stuff for like different things. He's got a lot of these candid pictures, and he'll always sort of tell me a backstory. Oh, this player
Mm-hmm.
was mad at me when I did. Pittsburgh guy. I don't know if you knew that about him originally.
I did not.
Yeah. Yeah. I asked him the other day, like, do you miss it? He says, no, I like living in this year.
Fair enough.
So I thought that was kind of funny. We have some more hockey stuff, but we haven't done this in so long. Maybe we can. There's been a few hockey players who passed away before I mention some of the other.
Yes, yeah, we have three. Everything else we have for a little bit here is hockey. So let me do the three folks from hockey who passed away just to break it up because it's been a while.
Yeah.
Let's start with I'd say the biggest name. We had three pretty big names that passed away. First of all, I'd say Bernie Perrant,
Mhm.
who passed away at the age of 80, all the way back September 21st. Played for the Bruins, Flyers, Leafs, and the Philadelphia Blazers
The
at one
WHL.
point in his career.
WHA, sorry.
Yeah, played 65 to 79. I think of him mostly as a flyer. Would you
Oh
agree?
yeah. Oh, absolutely. I I do my top 50 lists for most of the sports teams. I got
Mhm.
Prod as number 2, all-time flyer behind only Bobby Clark. Uh,
I
if
mean,
I'll go ahead and mhm.
he won the Conn Smythe, Vezina, and Stanley Cup in 74 and 75.
Yeah,
So,
and when you those teams, I every now and then, sometimes I just watch old YouTube 70s hockey, which is
mhm,
so different. And the fact that you had a rock and net that sort of allowed you to maybe not necessarily pay attention to the fundamentals of hockey
mhm,
kind of allowed you to do a lot of that. Grant Fuhr was a lot like that, although the Oilers were a completely different team in a completely different era. But
mhm.
it wasn't like their defenders necessarily paid attention to their own end of the ice a lot of the time.
Yeah. And in that 73-74 season, started 73 of the 82 games that season for the Flyers, plus the whole playoffs,
Mhm.
with a 1.89 goals against average and a 933 save percentage over 73 games. That's doing something.
Yeah.
So,
Get some very talented teams in those playoffs too.
yeah, unfortunately, a few years ago, he was involved in traffic collision back in 2018. Required multiple surgeries and left him in significant pain
Mm.
for the last few years of his life. But he passed into sleep at the age of 80 on September 21st. So, and there is that picture in South Philly of Perrant and Bobby Clark holding up the Stanley Cup. So,
8 teeth between them.
you're being generous, man.
Oh,
Um,
that was
so.
ones in the pocket.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Godspeed to Bernie Perrant. Also, another Hockey Hall of Famer. So Perrant was elected in 84 and 87. Eddie Giacomin, another goaltender, played for the Rangers and Red Wings between 65 and 78. Um, uh, his number one was the second number retired by the Rangers, joining Rod Gilbert's number. He passed away at the age of 86. Vezina Trophy winner, Vezina Trophy winner, he tied with Gil Villemure back in 1971. Um, but still 25th in all-time wins, 19th in career shutouts. Number 6 in the all-time great Rangers list
Mhm.
uh, back in 2009. So
That says a lot.
second highest of the goaltenders who have played during the first 82 seasons, but a very, very good player, not quite on the same maybe memory as Parent, and we also lost. Oh, I can't think of his name earlier this year for goaltenders.
Was it Rogie?
No,
No, that was sometime
I
before.
can't think. Right now, it's just out of my head.
Okay.
But Eddie Jackman, a heck of a hockey player,
Hmm?
gone at the age of 86. And finally, from hockey, Bob Goodenow, which is a name you've probably seen more than anything else. Uh, so Bob Goodenow, executive director of NHL Players Association, took over for the reprehensible Alan Eagleson as head
Yep.
of the NHL Players Association. But he was there from 92 through 2005 for 23 years. He was there. And he basically took them through the end of the strike or the lockout back in 2004, came back and retired at the end of that season.
Oh, Ken
But
Dryden is who you were thinking of.
Ken Dryden, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's like one of the greatest ones. I can't
Well,
just
yeah, because he also too, because like he was so entrenched with Eagleson.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, with a lot of that. I mean, Eagleson, for those, just we're not going to go into too much on that, but Eagleson, well, there's not often that Evan and I can say former Hall of Famer because he got kicked out.
And he absolutely should have.
Yep. I believe that there was quite a few people that said, take me out. I think was Dryden one of them? He might have been.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, either way, but yeah, I mean, it took a special man to repair a lot of that damage that Eagleson caused. But yeah.
Yeah. So basically, there was 103-day lockout in 1990 in 1994 95 originally, and then the cancellation of the 04-05 season. He negotiated the agreement with the NHL in July of 2005, and then stepped down 2 weeks later. But he passed away of a heart attack at his home at the age of 72.
It's a rough year being a Canadian when there was a no hockey season. Like every day you go home and you put it on TSN, our version of ESPN. And the front thing was just always wasn't the basketball scores, wasn't
Mhm.
anything else. It was just like, there's no talks in the labor negotiations today. Let's bring in Don Cherry for his thoughts. It sucks. Back to you.
Fair enough. So, um, yeah, so that's what we have for that. But we should go to the last three things we have in hockey here. A couple retired numbers.
Yeah.
They're happening early next year, so within
Yeah.
3 days of each other. So
Yeah.
first, let's do the Red Wings first.
Yeah. Sergei Fedorov won the Hart, the Selke, and the Ted Lindsay Award, which is, for those not aware, that's basically the Hart Trophy is voted on by the players. Uh,
Hmm.
a point a game player when he was in Detroit, 3 cups. Flashy Soviet player when a lot of them were more workmen coming in. So
Yeah,
sort of I guess he had that Ken and Barbie thing going because he was with Anna Kournikova at the time. So
that is true.
they were hockey's it couple. Uh,
I thought that he and Yzerman the it couple. Yzerman was 19 and he was 91. I just always thought they were. It was an interesting back and forth
joke
because
there. I'm just not going to do it.
yeah, that center, that centering, that whole Detroit team was insane.
Top
Like
to bottom.
how good that was. Like,
Oh,
yeah, absolutely deserves to have his number retired. Member Hockey Hall of Fame in 2015, IHF Hall of Fame in 2016. I'm only wondering why it took him so long.
I was wondering the same. I don't know why. Maybe he just said, is he still, I guess I think he's living in Russia. Maybe they have to get him to sort of like say, okay, yeah, I'm going to come.
Maybe.
And then with the whole issues with Russia, Ukraine, and everyone sort of like being kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
That
know.
might explain 1 or 2 years, but
Yeah, so the retired numbers right now for the Red Wings are Sid Abel, number 12, Alex Del Vecchio at number 10, Gordie Howe, number 9, Red Kelly, who's 4, Nick Lidstrom, who's 5, Ted Lindsay, number 7, Terry Sawchuk, number 1, and Steve Yzerman, 19. So 91 is by far the highest number that the Wings will have retired. So his number will be retired on the 12th of January when they are hosting the Carolina Hurricanes at Little Caesars Arena. It's just interesting. I was wondering like who they're going to do it against. You figure it'd be like against a arch rival of some sort, but they're doing it against the Hurricanes, and then 3 days later, the Boston Bruins
mhm.
are going to be retiring not yet Hall of Famer, or no, he just got elected, right?
He just got elected. Yeah.
He just got elected. Zdeno Chara, the tallest person ever to lift the Stanley Cup.
Mhm.
His number 33 will be retired by the by the Bruins, and they're playing they're playing the Seattle Kraken that day. So it's like it's just weird to me. Why
didn't they
like
wait
if
for
I'm the
Ottawa?
Red Wings, would I retire that against like the Blackhawks?
Ottawa.
Or
Ottawa.
yeah, for the
Yeah, yeah,
the Red Wings I retire against the Blackhawks.
yeah.
The Bruins, I'm retiring that number against like one of the original six teams or Ottawa or the Islanders. You know what I mean?
Or
Like a
even
team that
Washington, where he ended his career.
or you're Washington. Yeah, but like this one is just odd.
Sometimes maybe they don't think things through, or maybe they thought, all right, Seattle's not going to be that good this year. Here's a draw. Maybe it's a marketing decision.
Maybe the Bruins aren't going to be that good this year either. So, I don't know. We won our first three. We won our first three, and then lost the next four, and we just lost to Florida today. So we've lost 5 in a row after winning the first one. But yeah, I mean Chara again absolutely deserves it.
You and I are big fans of Chara. I was a big fan of him when he was a Senator. But yeah,
yeah, I was so excited to end up with the Bruins. He's the 13th number retired by the Bruins. So joining number 22 with Willie O'Ree, which is the last number retired. Rick Middleton at 16. Cam Neely is 8. Number 24 for Terry O'Reilly. 77 for Bork. 7 for Phil Esposito. 9 for Johnny Busick. 4 for who's that guy? Number 4 for the Bruins. I always forget. Number 4 Bobby Orr. 15 Milt Schmidt. Number 2 Eddie Shore. 5 Dick Clapper and 3 Lionel Hitchman. So those are, and there was a nice video where Chara's now working for the Bruins, and Neely was walking him to a meeting they had, and they stopped in the arena on the way up, and he said, "Hey, there's an empty space in the rafters. I think we're going to fill it." And Chara had no idea it was going to happen, so that was pretty cool. I like the video. So
you got to figure next year it'll be Bergeron. We'll just
I mean, Bergeron he's my choice. We had our bet for it's been so long. It was I think we did this on the 10th of September. It's been like 5 weeks.
Well, some of my Chris Jericho one's looking better and better by the day.
It is. So but anyway, the last one, we have the St. Louis Blues had their Hall of Fame class of 2026.
Yeah. Not as big names here. But again, they should something that they should have started a lot earlier than they did. They only began, I believe, 2 years ago, and they did a big jump with that.
I think that's right.
Yeah. One guy I started off with the guy who's actually in the Hockey Hall of Fame, and someone I always forget actually was a St. Louis Blue. I always forget he was actually a hockey player. An Al Arbour.
Al Arbour, yeah.
Yeah. Something I'm 0 days old when I learned that he was the last player who wore glasses on the ice. Because in the official sort of picture from the Blues website, there he is with glasses, and I thought,
yeah, he's looking a lot like the late great Tom Lehrer, who died earlier this year. He looks a lot like Tom Lehrer.
He does look like she'd be doing the news, or reading some kind of highbrow newspaper than playing hockey.
Good night and good luck.
Yes.
So they started their Hall of Fame in 2023.
Okay, so not 2 years ago. Yeah. So Arbour, he was one of those guys that was very lucky with expansion, because he was there for the first 4 years of their existence. And he probably at that point, he was already in his mid-30s. He wasn't much of he was a good stay-at-home defender, couldn't score worth shit. He only got 2 goals in his 4 years as a Blue. That wasn't what he was sort of paid to do.
Correct.
But interestingly enough, and they always mention this whenever they talk about those old-time Blues, well, he was part of those first 3 Stanley Cup attempting teams, conveniently forgetting that when they expanded, my God, it would have driven me nuts if I was an original 6 fan of one of those teams, which I guess I would have been. And you would have been too if we were like of that age.
Yeah, I'd still be a Bruins fan.
One of these teams, St. Louis, California,
yeah,
really, when all these 6 garbage teams who were all plucking expansion players, and
the Oakland Seals,
the Golden, yes, yeah, and these teams, they just had to beat out each other. So St. Louis gets in those first 3 Stanley Cups. Would you like to know how many games they won in the finals in those 3?
I would guess 0.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah.
A grand total of 0. But Arbour also was a player coach at the end of that last year. And clearly they knew he was good. So did New York, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Mm-hmm.
And he would take another expansion team to greatness. They could still use him again.
Speaking
So
of that 1967 draft, by the way, the
oh,
expansion
okay.
draft. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, cool.
The number 2 pick overall
Yeah.
by the Philadelphia Flyers
Yeah.
was Bernie Parent.
Oh, really?
Yep. Number one, who do you think number 1 pick was? It was by the Los Angeles Kings, drafting from the Toronto Maple Leafs
I feel like I should know this.
in the Hockey Hall of Fame. The first 3 picks are all Hockey Hall of Famers.
It's going to bother me once you tell me, but it's escaping me.
It's a goaltender that helps.
Oh, would that have been Turk Broda?
Terry Sawchuk.
Oh, okay.
Sawchuk, Parent, and Glenn Hall were the first 3 picks in that draft.
Hmm.
So apparently they had to draft 2 goaltenders to start, and then they went from there.
But I guess imagine those things were unprotected. I got to do a deep dive on that.
Mm-hmm.
Who was protected and who wasn't?
I'm looking at the list here for people who are Hall of Famers. Let's see. Those 3, any other Hall of Famers in this draft? No. The first 3 picks were all Hall of Famers. Nobody else was a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
He was drafted in that draft.
The other 2, I've been doing the reverse order that I had them in, but this makes more sense to me. Another Calder winner, Barrett Jackman. He was a stay-at-home defender. He won the Calder. The only person who he beat out, and actually should have, was Henrik Zetterberg. Nobody else really from that list sort of became a superstar. But he had a decent career there with St. Louis. I think he played all but his last season with St. Louis. 181 points, but 987 block shots. And that doesn't count 4 seasons when we weren't counting block shots yet.
Mm-hmm.
So probably had a lot more. The only member of their 2019 team that won the Stanley Cup, Alexander Steen, not a Hockey Hall of Famer, but he was a very good 2-way player. He was there for 14 years, I believe. 496 points in 765 games. So whatever that works out to.
Mm-hmm.
But congratulations to all 3.
Absolutely. By the way, I'm reading more on this 1967 draft.
Mm-hmm.
Commentators compared the draft to a rummage sale, with the original 6 losing only unnecessary, if not unwanted, players. Some of the expansion teams bolstered their rosters before the draft by purchasing minor league teams outright, thus gaining the rights to the players on their rosters. So the Springfield Indians became big by the Kings, and the Quebec Aces were purchased by the Flyers. The North Stars purchased the right to 7 amateur members of the Canadian national team from Toronto.
So I wonder if that's why there were so many French people in the Flyers.
Could have been.
In those early days. Okay. Andre Lacroix, some of those players like that, yeah. And then a lot, yeah. My God. Interesting.
Yeah. So
that deserves a deep
anyway.
dive. But with that, I guess we have some people that we lost. We always like to look at those the legendary figures who gave their all in their respective field of endeavor.
Yeah, and we have quite a few people here. I'm going to try and be pretty quick about it. I would like to point out that it's been like 4 weeks, and we have 4 Hungarians. So the Beige Mistress has been very busy.
Well, we always have to count the Hungarians. That's our trope.
That is definitely the trope. So I would like to say for Ferenc Lenart, the Hungarian weightlifter, the 1992 Summer Olympics, passed away at the age of 60. Istvan Kiss, the gymnast who participated in the 72 Olympics, passed away at the age of 76. Yorgi Mezei, who is in the Hungarian national team from 83 to 86, leading he's the coach of the national team from 83 to 86, leading them to the last World Cup Hungary went to in 86. He passed away at the age of 84. And there are 10 letters in this name combined, and trying to pronounce it correctly, I'm sure I'm getting it wrong. I'm going with Csaba Kruvis. Csaba space Ko with an umlaut over it, Ves. So I'm with Kasabakouvis. He was 58. He won silvers in Barcelona and Atlanta in men's fencing. You say they passed away of natural causes. We say that there's a serial killer on the loose
Mm-hmm.
in the Eastern Bloc. So, um, some very famous folks who passed away since we last talked. I'll start with Jane Goodall.
Mm-hmm.
Just one of the more interesting and kind people in the history of the world. Um, and a very, very bright and like her career is just absolutely fascinating with what she did with primates and everything along those lines. But yeah, you have any Jay Goodall thoughts?
Not really. I'm not. I know who she was. I know I've seen her on talk shows and whatnot, but this is going to sound stupid. Gorillas in the Mist wasn't about her, was it? Oh, no, that's Diane Fossey. Never mind.
Yeah. So yeah, but I did know that Goodall knew she was dying, and she gave a what she really thought the state of the world interview to be published after she passed away, which came out, which was interesting. But
I'll
yeah,
have to
she
check
passed
that
away at the age
out.
of 91. One of my favorite character actors, I have to bring him up, Ron Dean. He's he is one of the main police officers in The Fugitive, one of the actual Chicago detectives in The Fugitive. But I always think of him from that, and I of course think of him as Uncle. Uh, oh my God, I can't think of his name. Uncle Pat from Cocktail.
Hmm.
He was in a whole bunch of
Seen
other
that.
stuff.
So sorry.
What?
I was trying to do my Tom Cruise impression from that movie.
Oh, yeah. But
Yeah.
he's basically a police officer. He looks like a police officer. He's a police officer in like everything. The Fugitive, in Above the Law, in Dark Knight, all sorts of stuff. But he passed away at the age of 87. Other actors, much more bigger, I want to point out. Diane Keaton passed away at the age of 79.
Hmm.
Shares a birthday with me, one of my celebrity birthday uh, partners. Um, Not the oldest one. I mean, we got what's his name? Robert Duvall still going. But a actress who had a hell of a career. Like
Absolutely. Yeah.
just absolutely heck of a career. Was active all the way through 2024. Um, I mean, everyone had something wonderful to say about her, from all the way from Kay Adams Corleone from The Godfather uh, series to Annie Hall to, I mean, heck, the First Wives Club, right? Like she was everything she was in, she was good in.
Yeah, for my wife, it was uh it's crap. What's that one with Nicholson? Something's got to give.
Something's got to give.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
that's
the
a
one.
great
So
one.
actually, I think she rewatched it just after when she came home and I told her that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Father of the Bride, part one and part two, the newer one with Steve Martin's another one.
Mhm.
But just a heck of an actress. My guess is she leads off the memorial for the things. Although, I mean, we've already lost Gene Hackman this year.
I think
So
maybe the way Hackman died more tragically.
yeah, well, the question is who leads off and who's the hammer? Because the hammer is either Hackman or Robert Redford, who passed away since we last talked as well.
But the bigger body of work, would that not be more Hackman?
I mean, perhaps Redford never won an Oscar, was never even nominated for an Oscar, believe it or not,
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
which seems crazy to me.
Mhm.
But I mean, particularly with the career he had, again, some of the absolute greatest films of all time. Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid. I mean, Jeremiah Johnson, um,
Sting.
The Sting. Yeah, I mean, The
Mhm.
Sting. Just an absolute incredible actor. The Great Gatsby, founder of the Sundance Film Festival.
Mhm.
Um, and I mean, just there's almost nothing that he didn't do. And I mean, what am I saying? Indecent Proposal. That movie is,
Right. Yeah, I saw that in the theaters when I was in college.
yeah, that movie is kind of amazing. Spy Game. I love Spy Game when that came out. That was a while ago. Sneakers.
Hmm.
Out of Africa, A Bridge Too Far, 3 Days of the Condor, which is, if you guys haven't seen 3 Days of the Condor, go watch. Have you ever seen that one?
I haven't. No.
Go watch 3 Days of the Condor.
Okay.
That movie is also incredible. All the President's Men. There's another one for you.
Yeah. No, that one
Just
I've seen a couple times. Yeah.
yeah, I did Out of Africa. Just so many great movies. Everything he was in, he's very much like Clooney, where he always played himself in a way, but it didn't matter because he was just that good at whatever he was in.
And unlike one of my still all-time favorites, except maybe for maybe the last 10 years, unlike De Niro, he says, you know what, I'm not gonna say yes to everything.
Yeah, it's also true. But he was also really involved with Sundance, and that was a big part of what he did
No, I know,
with his
absolutely.
composing.
He's also involved in other social issues, whatnot too, but
Yeah. So, plus he was in Captain America. So there you go.
it's
And
true.
Avengers Endgame. But yeah, so Godspeed, he was 86 years old. Um, One other person, I do want to bring up George Hardy, that passed away at the age of 100. Another of the Tuskegee Airmen. We have so few of those left. I always mention Tuskegee Airmen, and I mention members of the women's baseball, all women's baseball league whenever they pass.
Yeah.
One last one I do want to bring up quickly. Drew Struzan passed away, and that name probably means nothing to you, but
Um,
your life has been made better by Drew Struzan.
okay.
He did over it says 150. I've seen 200 film posters. So you
Oh,
go to movies, E.T., Back to the Future,
okay.
Indiana Jones, a Harry Potter series, Star Wars series, Blade Runner, Shawshank Redemption, The Thing. The Thing is one of the ones I have with the light and the gunman out of the guy's face. Um, just an incredible list of stuff that he did in his career. He passed away at the age of 74. Go look up his art. You're like, you did someone whose name you didn't realize, someone who did a lot that you mattered in your life that you didn't necessarily know who
Hmm.
he was. But Drew
Okay.
Struzan passed away at the age of 78. Okay, for skip a lot of these. I do want to bring up. Do you want to talk about Mo quickly from wrestling?
Yeah, it'll be pretty quick. He was like one half of a tag team called Men on a
Mhm.
Mission. Sorry, I it was in 19. I might have the year wrong, but it was in 94, 95. They held the tag titles for like 2 days.
94.
94. Okay. Mostly it became more of a vehicle for his tag team partner, who was also passed away, Mabel, who would later become Viscera, later become Big Daddy V. Before that, King Mabel, because his partner was like 6'7", 550 pounds, and maybe more. From what I've read from his peers, he was just like an all around great guy. So, and you don't always see that in wrestling, unfortunately.
Yeah. So he had a kidney transplant back in 2022,
Mhm.
2018, excuse me. Then he was hospitalized with COVID-19 right after getting a liver transplant. Um, and then actually passed away at the only age of 58. He spent the last 2 months in intensive care with a severe blood infection and pneumonia. So not the way to go out, but Mo was
Yeah.
58 years old.
Yeah.
And the Oklahoma City Thunder came back to win
Oh,
first
okay.
game, first
Yep.
game of the season in double overtime.
Hmm.
Also, I'll bring up boxer Ricky Hatton.
Yeah,
Died at the age of 46, probably committed suicide.
that's what I read. Yeah, that's sort of what it was. Apparent one of an iconic figure from in Ireland and boxing there. Watched many of his fights. When you hear of someone getting sort of depressed like that or suicide, it's
Hmm.
boxing. Your first thought CTE. I don't know if that's we're gonna find that out or not, but
Yeah.
which
I
might
mean,
sort of go into another one that we're gonna talk about, I'm sure.
yeah, the man started his career 43-0
Yeah.
as a professional. He lost three of his last five fights. First one to Floyd Mayweather Jr. back in 2007, which is not a bad person to lose to. He also lost to Manny Pacquiao in 2009, his last one to Vyacheslav Senchenko in 2012,
Mhm.
which he should not have been fighting at that point. Um, but
Apparently, he's talking about doing an exhibition again, but
Yeah, he was expected to go to a meeting and never showed up, and they found him hanging from a rope in his hotel. So, but Ricky Hatton was 46, a hell of a boxer. Locally around here, legend of the city of Chicago and of March Madness the last few years, Sister Jean passed away at the age of 106. The heart of the Ramblers at Loyola here in Chicago,
Yeah.
named Jean Dolores Schmidt, was born August 21st, 1919. But she big celebrity here, beloved by everyone here in Chicago. Passed peacefully 106. So
Just retired too, because I remember reading the article.
it's September.
Yeah. So that's clearly she was of relatively decent health up until that point, which is incredible. Just an incredible story. I mean, one of those people where you just can't, I don't see how you can find anything bad. Yes, Winnie's decided to make a return. She was wandering around and yes, anyway. Winnie, do you remember any memories of that? No, Winnie doesn't.
Okay. Well, yeah, Sister Jean, 106. That's a pretty good run. So, okay. So I'll do a couple of baseball, a couple of football, and we'll save the rest for others. And we have some singer musicians we have to talk about.
Yes.
I'm going to start with we lost a couple of running backs. First, starting with Doug Martin,
Yeah,
who died
that
in
is
police
sad.
custody at the age of 36.
So many questions when you read that.
Yeah, everything just seemed crazy. So he was broken into somebody's house, was taken into custody, and then died. I don't fully understand what happened there.
Yeah. As we're recording this, as Evan mentioned, we haven't recorded this in a while, but this is one of the fresher passings.
Yeah.
I remember Martin very well. Just a pounding running back, and possibly that might have contributed to whatever mental issues he may have had. If he was breaking into someone's house, I guess he was not in the best financial state.
No.
Unfortunately. I don't want to do a whole police thing, but you always have to ask that question these days.
I mean, there's a lot of questions that we don't know the answer to now. I'll just say this. It did sound like he had some mental health issues over the last few years. But yeah, he passed away at the age of 36. Godspeed.
Yeah.
Also passing away from suicide since we've last talked, another running back, Rudy Johnson, passed away at the age of 45. Another person who I remember very, very well.
Yeah.
He was basically the reason that the Patriots were able to trade for Corey Dillon. So one-time Pro Bowler in 2004, SEC Player of the Year in 2000 at Auburn. The 1 year he spent there, drafted in the 4th round, the 100th overall pick, 5,900 career rushing yards. But yeah, apparently he'd been going through some mental stuff as well.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
But after he left, he got involved with an organization called Be the Match, which works with the National Bone Marrow Registry, organizing, conducting donor drives to recruit minorities who are very underrepresented and have issues finding matches. Because marrow is one of those things that gets rejected pretty easily by the body if it's not that close. But he was very involved with that before his death. He passed away, as I said, at the age of 45. One last one I do want to bring up, just passed away a couple days ago. One of my favorite random players from the Patriots when I was growing up. He played with Pats when I first started paying attention to football, 83 to 87, mostly as a kick returner. Stephen Starring passed away at the age of 64. He was mostly a return specialist. Like I said, he was our return specialist in the Super Bowl when we lost.
I was going to ask, because that's, you don't forget a name like Starring.
No, it's a great name, because it looks like Steven too, but he went by Stefan, which I thought was really cool when I was a kid. A member of the McNeese State University Hall of Fame. He was actually a quarterback there before he came to the NFL. 120 receptions in his career with 11 touchdowns, but almost everything that he did was on the kick return. I loved him as a kid. Just want to give a tap of the hat to Stephen Starring. So, also another tap of the hat for someone I loved as a kid, going over to baseball, the Gator, Mike Greenwell. Passed away at the age of 62. Finished second in the 1989 for MVP voting in the American League to a very, very roided up Jose Canseco.
No.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Greenwell, once Canseco came out with that, was pretty open about the fact he was annoyed that he lost that MVP.
And whatever bonus that was probably tied to that.
Yeah, I'd imagine. But he played with the Red Sox for 11 years, from 1985 to 1996. He was the continuation. So we had Williams, and then we had Yastrzemski, and then we had Rice in left field. And Greenwell was the one who took over that thing. Hit 303 for his career. I mean, Greenwell was never going to be a Hall of Famer, but he was a very, very good baseball player.
Was he very popular in Boston? I seem to remember
He was.
that. But okay,
yeah. Well, his nickname was Gator because he used to wrestle alligators in the offseason as part of his offseason training program. So he was fourth Rookie of the Year voting in 1987. Hit for the cycle. I do remember one game when I was a kid where I think we were playing the Blue Jays, and they just had Greenwell, I think, drove in 9 runs in the game. And they just had Mike Greenwell 9, Toronto Blue Jays 2 on the screen.
Which would be a tweet now.
Yeah. Inducted into the Red Sox Hall of Fame in 2008. Actually, he went afterwards. He started racing stock cars. Actually won the 2000 Speedweeks Track Championship back then. Raced a couple races in the Craftsman Truck Series after retiring. Just an interesting guy. But yeah, died of thyroid cancer.
Yeah, I didn't know that about him. That he went to racing.
Yeah, so just one of my favorite players. That outfield of the late 80s, early 90s it was Greenwell, Burks, and then somebody else, a fat guy who hit for power. It was basically what it was. It was Greenwell, Burks, and we had one old guy who hit for power, which was Jack Clark. So we had Jack Clark, and then we had Yvonne Calderon, and we had Tony Armas at one point, senior. We had Tom Brunansky was out there at one point. Bob Zupsik, I always loved him. I always remember he came out at the same time as Can't Touch This, because we were going do 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 Bob Zupsik as kids. But yeah, so it was Burks and Greenwell, and then somebody else in right field. Kevin Mitchell, remember him? He was out there for a while, and eventually Jose Canseco. But yeah, Greenwell, Godspeed at the age of 62.
Mitchell must have won the MVP for San Francisco in '89. I guess that same year.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. I still remember his barehanded catch he made with San Francisco, Kevin Mitchell.
Yeah, he was like one of those 2-year wonders.
He was indeed.
One good year, and then, well, maybe he's going to return to that.
So, another one passed away, Sandy Alomar Sr. Passed away at the age of 81. Played for the Braves in both Milwaukee and Atlanta, the Mets, the White Sox, Angels, Yankees, and Rangers. He's actually one of the expansion Mets back in '67. Coach of the Padres, Cubs, Rockies, and Mets. Was an all-star in '70 with the Angels. He passed away at the age of 81. Of course, father of an incredible catcher and a Hall of Fame second baseman. So, also passing away, an original member of the Seattle Pilots, John Morris. He passed away at the age of 84, a member of the Delaware Sports Hall of Fame. I saw that as well. So, okay. And we'll leave the other folks for another day. Let's go to music because this is going long enough. We have a lot of really big names who passed away. I'm going to start with Robert Hart, or Bobby Hart, excuse me, who is singer-songwriter, wrote most of the big hits for the Monkees. Last Train to Clarksville, also wrote Come a Little Bit Closer by Jay and the Americans.
Love that song.
I'm Not Your Stepping Stone for Paul Revere and the Raiders.
Mhm.
Under the Moon of Love and Pretty Little Angel Eyes with Curtis Lee. Wrote the theme song to Days of Our Lives.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah. Uh, wrote Peaches and Cream by the Inkettes, like a whole bunch of other things like that. Um, just a whole bunch of hits that he wrote over the years. Plus, he had a minor thing with his writing partner. They did have one hit. I Wonder What She's Doing Tonight in 1967, which went to 8 on the U.S. Billboard charts. But he passed away at the age of, I believe, 83, but I have lost it. So I'm gonna put, oh no, sorry, 86. There it is. His partner Tommy Boyce passed away at the age of 55, way back in 94. So, um, also passed away. Let's go to D'Angelo. Passed
Hmm.
away of prostate cancer, right the same year as what's her name? His baby daddy, Price. Right, I can't think of her last name, her first name.
Oh, I'm blanking on that too.
She died in a car crash. I'm sorry, not Price. Angie Stone. Angie Stone passed away earlier this year. We did her in a car crash, but now D'Angelo, Michael Eugene Archer passed away at age 51. Heck of a songwriter, incredible voice. Did not like being a sex symbol very much.
Hmm.
Do you have anything to say about D'Angelo?
No, not really.
Yeah.
It's
So
just tragic when they die so young.
yeah. So he had three albums. Won a Grammy Award for Best R&B Album with his Voodoo album in 2001. His biggest hits, let me just see here quickly. His biggest single, so You Will Know, hit number 5. Lady hit number 2 on the R&B charts, and number 10 in the Billboard charts in '96. And then How Does It Feel, also, or I guess Untitled, How Does It Feel, hit number 2, R&B number 25, back in 2000. So, all right. Sam Rivers also passed away at the age of only 48. Bassist backing vocalist and co-founder of Limp Bizkit. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't know what happened. It says that he had cardiac arrest. Uh, so, but yeah, that was one that kind of shocked me when it came through, just because those guys are our age, or I
Yeah.
guess
Well, in between, but yeah.
yeah, in between. I mean,
Yeah.
like we would have been in high school with Limp Bizkit, is my point. Uh,
Well, yeah, for
and
me, that was a little past my college years, but yeah, Limp Bizkit's one of those. You either love them or you really hate them, and if you're a critic, you really hate them.
yeah,
But
I know so many people who are convinced they're getting in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I hate to tell you guys, Limp
not.
Bizkit, they will have to be one of those the Rock and Roll Hall of Fames around 80 years from now. Like, hey, we need to go back and get people. There's no way otherwise.
Or they're going to need and it's going to tie in with what we might close with. I don't know your order on this, but or they're going to need somebody who thinks of them the way Tom Morello thought about a certain other painted face band to put
Also
them
true.
back.
Yeah, we'll get to that painted face band here very shortly.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a whole bunch of Rock and Roll Hall of Famers who have passed away. Tommy Price, the drummer for mostly for Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, but also played drums for Scandal, Blue Oyster Cult, Billy Idol, Debbie Harry, Roger Daltrey, the Waterboys, Ronnie Spector, the Psychedelic Furs, all sorts of folks over the years. Ron Wood, John Waite, all sorts of folks. Rick Ocasek, single stuff. Frank Wright, but he passed away at the age of 68. So, also, sorry, there we go. Sonny Curtis passed away. Member of the Crickets as Buddy Holly's backup band. Passed away at the age of 88. He wrote I Fought the Law for the Everly Brothers.
Oh,
Love is All Around for the Mary Tyler Moore Show, or the theme song for Mary Tyler Moore Show. Yeah, I've also did No Stranger to the Rain, which was number one a country hit for Keith Whitley, but he passed away at the age of 88. The Crickets, uh, one of those bands they finally went back and got. Remember, they didn't induct
yeah.
like they had in they didn't have in the
Well, the
oh like
Miracles.
yeah, the Miracles. I was the one. I'm like, how do you not have the Miracles in?
And then,
But
yeah, and then you put in Smokey before technically he should have because his solo career started much later, but whatever. It's not like
yeah,
the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame makes up their own rules, do they?
well, I mean, and the rules are always consistent.
Oh, absolutely.
Also passing away, Chris Drasia, who was rhythm guitarist and bassist for the Yardbirds. Then the Yardbirds, after they folded and they reformed, he did not go back into music and to become a professional photographer. But he's a original member of the Yardbirds. He passed away at the age of 78 in a nursing home in London after having had a stroke. So that got him stuck for many, many years. Also, come on, open. I have this all in a spreadsheet now to get stuff open, but I need to open it sometimes. It just takes sometimes to get going. Buzzy Johnson passed away. Uh, a member of uh, oh, he wrote "Baby Baby Don't Cry" for the Miracles. "Here I Go Again" for Bobby Taylor, and then wrote stuff for the Four Tops, Temptations, the Supremes, and Martha the Vandellas. He passed away at the age of 86. One of the big Motown writers. Who I'm looking for this guy though. The bass guitarist, co-lead vocalist, and songwriter for the Moody Blues, John Launch, passed away at the age of 82. How do you feel about the Moody Blues?
Some of their songs I absolutely love, and some I cannot stand.
That's
Uh,
the correct answer on the Moody Blues.
yeah, like even just like going. One of their songs I absolutely love, except for I don't know if they added that after, but "Nights in White Satin." But then
Hmm.
there's a vocal part at the end, or maybe that was part something they added for remix or something.
Hmm.
Old people wish they were young, and it's just goddamn awful, killing an amazing song. One of my guilty pleasures is Rock and Roll Over You from the Karate Kid Part 2 soundtrack,
Oh, yes.
where Daniel Sans are like doing that through the ice blocks. Uh, yeah, someone who with I think when they weren't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for a long time, I was stumping on that one. But I can see sort of why there were some people who didn't like them. They could come off a little bloated on some songs. Well,
Yeah.
because they were.
Yeah, because I mean that was prog rock, which was
Yeah.
them. So
But no, I
uh,
mean, there can't be too many of them left at this point.
I can't imagine. But so he wrote "Ride My Seesaw," "Isn't Life Strange," and "I'm Just a Singer in a Rock and Roll Band," among other things. He passed away suddenly, surrounded by friends and family, it said, at the age of 82.
Hmm.
Uh, Another big one, Anthony Jackson died at the age of 73. You would probably know best Anthony Jackson for his bass line in "Me and Mrs. Jones."
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Also did "For the Love of Money" or the OJs, one of those great session people I love talking about all the time. But "Me and Mrs. Jones" is an incredible song with a very, very great bass line. But
Absolutely.
he did all sorts of stuff with Grover Washington Jr. and Roberta Flack and Lee Ritenour, Buddy Rich, all sorts of people all over the years. As I said, he passed away at the age of 73. Uh, One more, and then we will go to. I have to bring this guy up, and then we'll go to the guy you want to do. One of the worst people in music passed away, and I do want to bring him up. That is Ian Watkins, the former leader of the Lost Prophets,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
who went to jail for 29 years back in 2013 for multiple sexual offenses. I'm not going to say what they were, but let's just say it was children under the age of children in single digits. And he was stabbed to death in jail uh, at the age of 48.
Let's just say there will be no rock and roll part 2 for him.
Yeah. In the words of Mark Twain, I've never wished anyone dead, but I've read some obituaries with great satisfaction. Uh,
I've never heard
he,
that. That's great.
yeah, I'll get the exact quote about obituaries, Mark Twain quote. It's actually, I've never wished a man dead, but I have read some obituaries with great pleasure. I was close. Um, so it's a misattribution. I apologize. It was actually Clarence Darrow. I've never killed anyone, but I've read some obituary notices with great satisfaction. So it was actually Clarence Darrow that's been given to Mark Twain because Twain said stuff. But it's still, the point is the same.
Yeah.
Ian Watkins is gone, and I can't say the world is worse for it.
Or the jail.
Or the jail.
Yeah.
So let's just get to the biggest name that you want to talk about here.
Yeah.
On a completely different level. Paul Daniel Frehley.
Best known as the Ace, the spaceman.
The space ace.
Yeah. I'm a huge Kiss fan. I know it's sort of weird because I do part of the site I do is sort of like a talking about music and whatnot. And Kiss is that band that I absolutely love. A lot of people love, but I don't think any Kiss fan is ever said that Gene and Paul were Lennon and McCartney.
No,
because they weren't.
yes,
but they knew what they were, and they were a band that could sing about their dick, about power, and about having fun. And when they strayed away from that, it usually didn't go well. And nobody knew that better than Ace, who never wanted to stray away from that. Their biggest hit, I Was Made for Loving You, he hated because he hates disco.
I get it.
Yeah. But he made a lot of money from that. Ace was, when you look at the members of the band, the way I always sort of looked at it, Gene was the man who just wanted to make as much money as possible and chase as much skirt as possible. Paul was the guy who sort of like really directed the band when it came right down to it. Ace was the rock star, and Peter, he was lucky to be there. Sorry, Peter, I love you, but that's the truth. Ace had a lot of rock talent, a great guitarist, could have been a lot better. He did a lot of things, drank way too much. For the record, it's my Michelob Zero for, I don't know why I felt the need to justify that today, but maybe because I'm talking about Ace. And for 20, 30 years, he was very chemically dependent.
Mm-hmm.
And it cost him a lot. It cost him a lot of motivation to sort of get things done. But when you think of who was the guy you want to hang out with in that band, who do you want to have the beer with, as they always say in an election?
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing a lot of sort of like tributes from a lot of the other like rock, like heavy metal guys or musicians. Tom Morello, who we mentioned earlier, like he just said, that's the reason I picked up a guitar.
Yeah.
I think it was Sebastian Bach from Skid Row who said, like, I might have this wrong on who said it, but I just wanted to tell as many jokes to hear him laugh, because he had that infectious laugh that I'm not even going to try to duplicate it, but I will encourage anyone to just sort of like watch the Tom Snyder interview. It's 1979, and Kiss, that's when they're actually in their disco outfit. They're more outlandish than before, and Ace just takes over the whole thing while Paul's just going, and Gene's clearly pissed.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just one of the funniest things ever. And the Tom Snyder just this guy's more entertaining. I'm just going to keep going back to this guy. Ace was so much fun. I got to see them play twice in the reunion tour in 96. And so I saw them once in Toronto at, I think it was then still called Skydome.
Okay.
It was so much fun. And then later on, 2 years later, in Cops Coliseum in Hamilton. Was not as much fun because Ace was not let's just say he was having more of a chemically dependent day. Nearly fell off the stage, starts just laughing right there, sitting on his ass while Gene's clearly pissed. I always sort of hate too, like whenever whenever a band's got a song that sort of has a city and you go to the city and then you change it. No, we're not back in the Hamilton groove. You know where I'm going with that, but yeah. So,
including bonus and.
But I guess where I was sort of like, I felt bad, but at the same time, the way he lived his life, the fact that he made it to 74,
74, yeah.
74 is a miracle in itself. And he lived life on his terms with no regrets. A lot of people say they have a regret, that they don't have any regrets, and really they do. I don't think he did. He just enjoyed being the life of the party. He was sober for his last 20 years. I might be off on that. So it probably extended his life greatly. Dedicated to his daughter. Put out an album, I believe early this year, that it's not an album that was going to make it, it's going to sell a whole lot, but it was a nice throwback rock album and what you would expect from Ace. I think that was sort of the one thing that surprised everyone, like back in 78. I was only 4 then, so 6. Either way, when they had their solo albums and Ace was the second best selling, but the best received.
Yeah.
That's where his cover of New York Groove came.
With Frehley's comment.
Well, no. I'm talking about like they did each before the band broke up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, they did solo albums.
Got it.
And that was the only single that sort of generated anything. And you still hear it all the time. If the NFL's in football, they'll play that outro or intro, like into a commercial. So I mean, I felt bad, but then it's like, nah, man, he lived a long time and he lived a lot longer than he should have. And thanks for the memories. Thanks for the smiles, Ace.
Yeah, and he died from brain bleeding from falling in his home studio.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, not the worst. I mean, it was, just a little under a month later, but.
Yeah, I think it was a second fall from what I was reading. And it just sort of like came so quick. It's like Ace is on life support, Ace is dead. I think within an hour.
Yeah.
Got a good friend of mine, she just seems to go on TMZ every 30 minutes and then she'll send me something. Can you use this? But yeah, I should be more sad than I am, but I can't be.
Yeah.
I think that's the way he'd want it. He would just do one of his trademark cackles and
I do love a couple of quotes they have here about Ace had about his technique. He said, I'm an anomaly. I'm an unschooled musician. I don't know how to read music, but I'm one of the most famous guitar players in the world. So go figure. And then the other one, I play guitar in such an unorthodox way. I've never taken a guitar lesson. One of our assistants brought to my attention a few months ago that sometimes when I play chords, my thumb is on the fretted side of the neck. I have no idea how or why I do it, but I do. So
probably why when you see him do a thumbs up, it's curled in a way that I can't even possibly.
Yeah. Paul Stanley added, I remember a time early on when Ace and I would play, I would do vibrato with my hand, and Ace would get vibrato by shaking his whole arm against the neck of the guitar. But hey, dude lived a good life. So
he did
Ace freely.
Yeah, I was one from Gene because I'm going to get this wrong. He was out. They were rooming on the road together, Gene and Ace. And Ace was going to turn in. Gene went, doing what he usually does, looking for girls. Came in, and there was Ace sort of with the bathtub running and passed out. And according to Gene, if he didn't sort of like lift him up, he was probably going to drown. He put him on his bed and then just sort of like stayed up all night just to make sure that he didn't sort of like throw up with or like choke in his own vomit or whatnot. Keep him from falling off the bed, although apparently it happened. So I guess Gene wasn't too good at that one. He might have been sort of, knowing Gene, he probably kept doing what he was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ace wakes up and says, how was your night? I turned in early.
I have a story about my sister that sounds familiar, only not involving a bathtub and passing out, but
yeah.
So anyway, all right, man. vote, guys, for the Hall of Fame. We extended December 1st, but December 1st will be the last time.
Yeah, no more extension because we originally do it for November 1st to honor the late great your father.
Yeah.
Yep. So but I think also too, I don't mind extending it because we've learned so much that I think we're going to be able to turn around this a lot quicker than we've ever done before.
Yeah, well, I already have the next ballot ready to go for everybody. So
yeah, so we're going to get a few more people. I've got a couple more that we're ready to add. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I guess we'll sort of close that off with just two things. One, like Evan said, www.theusahof.com, and you can vote every day. Vote for your favorites and help shape American sports history. And 17 different sports are represented on this ballot all throughout. Pretty big.
Yeah. And based on our last thing, I'm not going to say what sports they are. Now let me get this here. Based on our last update, we currently have 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on, that's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different sports of the 25 people leading right now.
On the top 25?
The top 25. We have 11 different sports. No sport has more than 6.
Is that including coaches and contributors?
No, just the athletes.
Okay. Yeah, because some of those sort of like skew differently too. Like our only hockey representative, guys, is Frank Zamboni, who can't get into the Hockey Hall of Fame. And if you're wondering who Frank Zamboni is, that sounds familiar. Yeah, it's who you think it is.
Exactly who you think it is. Yeah, and our number one vote getter, our last one, is not one of our traditional sports. I would say it is a sport
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Not even close to a traditional sport. It's a sport that we care about once every 4 years. So
and a well-deserving person, and
absolutely well-deserving. It's just kind of crazy that's the number one person. So
I think if Evan and I were to have done a draft and who we would have picked, who might finish number one, if we would have went 20 rounds, I don't think either one of us would have picked him.
No, who I thought would be number one is right now number 9, or tied for 8th.
Okay. So. Yeah, I'm not even sure who I sort of thought at this point, but I either way, there's certainly a contingent who likes that sport or remember as fond memories of a certain Olympiad.
Yeah, that sport's done pretty well so far.
So. Yeah, this time, which will be, it'll be really good. So either way, let's close this off. Wherever you are, wherever you may be, make today count because it never comes again. Take care, everybody.
Take care, guys.